it's a given that KJ is going to come out and play hard with a lot of energy. Just from a visual standpoint, I think he came back in a much stronger sense. He physically looked a little bit more imposing out there on the court than he did on his first trip over. And I think it translated into his game. When we played him, rain or shine, we were able to play them close, and he just went into kind of takeover mode, and everything was attack into the basket. Wasn't really settling for a lot of jumpers, which he's actually been shooting the ball well, or he did shoot the ball well for the conference. So I think it was just mentality and kind of bringing that infectious kind of energy to NLEX that has helped them, towards the top of the standings.
Well, Gabe, Coach Yang would love to have him up until the playoffs, but of course he has to attend to family matters. But they did clinch that twice-to-beat advantage as they approach the quarterfinals. Do you think, though, that there will be some adjustment issues with the new import that they got in Cameron Clark, despite the 1 week rest that they have as they approach the playoffs?
I think you just made a great point right there with the 1 week rest and the 1 week of preparation and things like that. It's hard to fill the shoes of a guy like KJ, who's probably up to be a finalist for best import of the conference. But you look at NLEX as a whole. You look at the way Kevin Alas is playing and Chris Rosales is playing, and you have Don Troiano, who's been consistent the whole way through. They also lost Jericho Cruz to free agency, but guys are stepping up, and that's kind of the way Coach Yang has always handled things, whether it's adversity or just giving opportunity to his players. So whether it's a new import or local stepping up, I think NLEX and kind of Coach Yang's kind of system and how he operates has proven to give opportunity to everybody.
Yeah, and you have to feel that with NLEX's twice-a-beat advantage, that if there is an adjustment period, then they'll feel happy that they have that in their back pocket. But now moving on, let's move on to the San Miguel Beermen, because Shabazz Muhammad did something crazy, Gabe. He went crazy, 57 points. He actually outscored the entire Meralco Bolts team in the second half. Just talk about how great he is once he gets his rhythm going. He actually did mention that once his jumper starts going, he's tough to stop.
Yeah, I mean, we got him the game before, so we didn't run into the full arsenal of what Shabazz has, but he came out and played a great game. They were down there at halftime. I think he had 12 points in the first half, and to come out that aggressive and kind of show his team that he wants to win. They were already, I think, assured a playoff spot, but he wasn't content with that. He was there to push them towards the top of the standings, and his performance was fun to watch, as a basketball fan, and also as somebody who doesn't have to play them. We already got them out of the way and played them close as well. It was fun just to kick back and watch a guy really go into the zone, as cliche as that could be.
Gabe, this is the third import for the San Miguel Beermen. In the past 2 games, he's averaged 45 points after that dismal first game that they had versus Magnolia. Do you think that San Miguel finally found their gem in the import in Shabazz Muhammad?
Possibly. I think it's one of those situations also. You look at, Orlando and Brandon Brown, who they had before, that they were able to kind of find their way through that. Orlando's a similar player in terms of being on the perimeter rather than Brandon Brown, who is more of a stretch four. But Shabazz is walked in and kind of gotten better every game. So, it's tough to beat 57 points, but if it's a matter of just getting wins now, and they have a great group around them, guys who have won championships and have great experience here in the PBA. So it's just a matter of Shabazz just fitting in and helping them get to where they're used to going.
Gabe, if there's a team that's been the most consistent this conference, it's probably the Magnolia Hotshots. When you look at their record, you think that, hey, maybe they are favorites. But is it clear-cut in your mind that this is the team that is a team to beat in terms of winning the championship this year? Or is the gap not as big, not as wide as the standings would suggest?
I think consistency is the biggest word right there. You look at what they did last conference, rolling over into this conference and adding Mike Harris to their team. To win a game, their last game without Ian, without Calvin, they still have pieces that are there getting healthy and ready for a playoff run. So to put them as a favorite, I think it's obvious. It's the numbers don't lie. At the end of the day, you gotta go out there and get it done. But they seem to be clicking on all cylinders right now and really looking to add 2 great pieces, probably 2 of the better players in the PBA, and Ian and Calvin in the next couple of weeks.
Gabe, when you look at the standings, in the mid-pack, it's really stacked there. You have TNT, Barangay Ginebra, Alaska, Northport at around 5-5, 6-5 in the standings. Who do you think is the dark horse as you look at the PBA standings today?
Ooh, I would love to have said rain or shine. If we could have snuck in a couple. We had our chances and kind of let those go. But I mean, to pick one, I mean, it's hard to knock down a champion. Like if you look at TNT and what they've done in the past as well. If you want to go recent history in terms of last conference.
Yeah.
But man, Northport is on a tear right now. Getting Robert back, Artist, their import is playing extremely well. There's so much talent, man. Like you said, it's a jumble right there in the middle, and it's just going to come down to matchups and how the seedings play out.